and you want to make it shiny and like whatever, you've got to stick with it, haven't you? And you've got to, that's like the worst example ever. Hi guys, so I received a question on my Q&A video. It was for you guys to leave me questions and I would answer them, but this one I thought I would actually do a separate. This is a question, you guys can see what it is, so I'm going to give you a few tips on, firstly, how to make it with your husband. But the first thing is understand each other. You need to understand each other and just understand that he is not you and you're not him, and things can totally change. Like, so when you move into your in-laws place and you're living with your husband, now everything I'm going to say to you is whether you live with your in-laws or not, you know, this is what I go by. So with understanding, you need to understand that, you know, you may put something somewhere, like you may, I don't know, like your clothes, you may put it straight into your cupboard, whereas he may put it on the side of the bed, you know. So you need to understand that this is him, this is what he does, but, you know, you can say to him, look, it'd be nice if you put it in your cupboard. Don't get angry with him, don't be like, oh, why are you putting that there, or why are you doing this, or why are you doing that, because as soon as you do that, then arguments can happen. Number 2, compromise. You've got to compromise with each other. It should never ever ever be, well, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and you can't do what you want to do because I want to do this. As soon as you start doing things like that, then that's when it gets a bit like, there's a bit of tension and a bit of like awkwardness, because the first few times he may say, yeah, you know, whatever you want to do is fine with me, but then afterwards he will probably get fed up with it and be like, well, I want to do something that I want to do now, and because you're so used to saying, well, me, you probably won't like it when he says me to himself, basically, and you'll probably be like, well, why do you want to do what you want to do? You may be like that or you may not, so that's why it's always good to compromise to begin with. So if you're going out for a meal and you want Chinese but he wants Mexican, maybe one time do what he wants to do and the next time you can do what you guys do, or maybe try something totally brand new so you're both in a brand new situation. You know, there's things you can do to compromise, but never have it as just like being yourself, because then that's when he probably will think, well, she's quite selfish. And you know, like, just imagine if he was saying, well, me, like, I'd be like, well, you're a bit selfish, aren't you? Can't you think of me? The normal things or the basic things that people say is like trust each other, be honest with each other, you know, and it is the thing. You've got to trust each other, you know, and you've got to be honest with each other. Now, when I say honest, if there's anything that you see that you do not like, then you need to tell him. He's not going to be a mind reader. You can't just go quiet on him. You can't be like, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that, and he knows nothing about it. You can't do that. You've got to tell him how you feel. You've got to say to him, look, this is exactly how I feel, this is what I saw, and then it's up to him how he takes it. Now, if he is a sort of a person where he's a bit stubborn and he doesn't really like to make changes, then it may take a bit of work for you to make him understand. But don't get angry and don't feel like, oh my god, he's not listening to me, or he's not changing, or he's not doing that. I mean, think about it. How can I put it, if you've got something and you want to make it shiny and like whatever, you've got to stick with it, haven't you? And you've got to, that's like the worst example ever. I can't even give you guys an example. Basically, stick with it, don't get angry, that's it. And yeah, you've got to be able to share things with him as well, and I personally think it should be like a best friend relationship. So if there's anything on your mind, you can tell them. If it's something stupid, like a funny thing, tell them. If you're a cheeky person, be cheeky with them, you know, and you've just got to be yourself. Don't pretend to be somebody else. That's the worst thing you could do, because how long are you going to keep that up for? That's like the worst thing ever. Me, I like to be so cheeky with my husband. Like, I'll be cheeky with him and he'll laugh and he'll find it funny, you know. And sometimes I may have my days where I'm just like, cannot be asked with anything, and I think it's like time of the month, and time of the month, you guys know, I mean, come on, all you ladies watching, you know how it is when it's time of the month, like your body just feels like really crap and your mood goes a bit crap, you know, and then you may just feel a bit crap, but then that's when I think, you know, they need to understand that this is how you are. But I think if you do them things and, you know, you compromise, you understand each other, you have a laugh with each other, you listen to one another, and you're not getting angry, the last thing you can do is like get worked up. Do not get worked up, because if you start getting angry, that's when arguments will happen, and then that's when, like, I don't know, counselling will probably come in place or something. You know, you just need to be able to understand, compromise, and, you know, just listen to one another. That's really important. Now, the in-laws, I personally think just be yourself. And again, if you follow them things with your husband and you tell him everything honestly, if there's something that your in-laws have done that you've not liked, tell him. Now I know I can't just say like all men are the same and everything, because like there are situations where I've heard that, you know, the guys have been like, well no, you know, my parents would never do that, like you're in the wrong. But I just think like if you have this sort of a relationship with him where you tell him everything and you be honest with him and you have a laugh and he knows he can trust you and you trust him, then I think he'll listen to you. But honestly guys, I can't say anything about if he's that sort of person where he's like just listening to his family all the time. I can't say about that. I have no idea what to say to you guys about it. But all I can say is like, be yourself. You do not want to pretend to be anybody else. I mean, the same way you would be with your parents, with your own family, be like that, you know, when you're living with your in-laws, and everything should be perfectly fine. But then you know, if you start pretending to be somebody else or whatever, then, you know, things can change. But this is it basically. This is my little advice to you guys. And when this goes up, it'll actually be my 2-year wedding anniversary. Yay! You know, it's been really good, you know, and these are the things that I've learned. I did not have anybody say to me, you know, before I got married, like, you know, follow this or whatever. I mean, there isn't a guide, you know, to getting married or anything. But I just think if you can make these changes, and sometimes it's not him that has to work on himself. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you have to make the change. Guys, if you guys have any other sort of questions you want me to answer, because it seems like there's a lot of you getting married, you know, and congratulations to you all who are getting married. But if you have any questions or anything, just leave them down below and I'd be more than happy to help you guys. Like, I've only been married 2 years, but believe me, 2 years is a long time where you really do have to learn, and, you know, if you have to change, you have to change. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all soon. Bye. Ready to pour, just in a long black satin, to the floor.